Hi, Abbotswood here. It's the 13th of April 2025. Hat on, my eye hat, I hate agitate, but also my thinking cap. I was told yesterday, while going to the Brighton versus Leicester game, that people don't change their beliefs. That there's strong empirical evidence that once somebody has kind of arrived at a point of view, a belief, whether it's in God or in fairies or in reincarnation, they generally tend to stick to it. So that my project is doomed right from the get-go because I want to change beliefs, really, I do. The thing is, I've changed my beliefs, and so I'm not convinced that it can't be done. I can see it might be really, really challenging, especially like, if someone believes that giants built the pyramids or the Earth's flat, or as an international global conspiracy, and they won't be moved by evidence, then I can see there's a massive, massive, massive challenge there. But I think that's the thing. That's why I'm doing this. And you might perversely say, well, why do I believe that it's possible? Well, for a number of reasons. One, if I look at the evidence and look at things like attitudes to gay marriage, it's changed beyond all recognition, but also in the arc of history, the slow, tortuous, mind-numbingly difficult shifts in the zeitgeist, the mood of the moment, kind of like not just acceptance of gay marriage, but the recognition that slavery was wrong, that child pornography is an abhorrence, that patriarchy has brought with it many, many problems that we're still living with and still ingrained in part of our culture today. But the language has changed. The language reflects people's attitudes and beliefs. Then it's definitely changed. Beliefs have changed. But anyway, I'm not going to go into like the whys and wherefores now. I'm just saying that there is, in all of these things, I think, if you go back far enough or you reduce it low enough at bottom, you can't get away from this kind of circular argument that anyone's assertions are foundationally based upon a belief system, and that belief system is personal. Now, this is like an empiricist trap, because if you accept that, you're locked into this kind of like infinite regress or this loop of self-contradiction. But if you step outside of it and you claim that your belief systems are bigger, more important, more profound than anybody else's, you are subject to the accusations of hubris or arrogance. That you've surveyed the world from the lofty heights of your vast intellect and arrived at a completely different insight into the nature of humanity or the world. And I don't want to go down that road. So how do I tackle that? Well, I'm going to try and just squeeze in a little nugget here and there that raises the issue, not in terms of beliefs as such, because I need to park the idea that beliefs are entirely personal, but in its fellow traveller. All beliefs have to have, I think, this is just a belief, some basis in knowledge, but knowledge is itself very, very complicated. But I think it's worth diving in a bit into what we understand by knowledge, and hopefully, as a consequence of that, we can emerge from the other side of the debate and debates, because I will be doing this with many other people, with a clearer understanding of the difference between personal belief and knowledge. I encourage you to come with me, because I do think that these issues, in the age of alternative facts, the distrust of authority and science, the attack on climate change, COVID, vaccination, vax deniers, international conspiracy theorists, anti-Semitism, blah blah, whatever it is. There's a lot of bollocks out there, and I don't think it needs to be that way. I think somewhere on the journey, I mean the journey of our species being as another important concept I want to bring into the conversation. We've just gone off track. I think I understand why, but it is quite deep. It's kind of red pill, blue pill kind of stuff, I suppose. But as I say, I'm not doing this on my own, and I'm not doing this blowing smoke out my own arse, thinking that I've arrived at a point where you lot need to catch up. That's not it at all. I think in my nearly 70 years to heaven, I've just picked up a few bits and pieces on the way, and let's talk about it. Yeah, I'm not here to preach or to finger wag or to cajole and lambast people who don't share my beliefs or understanding. But I think I picked up a few bits and pieces that I've found extraordinarily helpful in understanding and navigating my way through the mind-numbingly confusing narratives that are out there. You might find it too helpful, but you might not. You might enjoy it just for the ride. So come along. What have you got to lose?